this crisis.
Section 16, right to work on the basis of the same employment opportunities, including the application of the same criteria for selection in matters of employment. The same criteria set for the men should be the same criteria set for the women.
The forum thus called for women to be given equal rights in all spheres of development, and progressive men, they said, should not be shy to defend this cause.
There are about 6 principles that the government has outlined, and in those 6 principles, there is a third principle that is dedicated to the non-state actors and other actors in the private sector. And that is, it is in the third principle of the National Employment Policy that GAMCO-TRAP is relevant in advancing development in line with government development blueprint and relevant policies that advance gender equality and empowerment of women to preserve and promote the dignity and integrity of women.
Acknowledging that their ideas can only come to fruition through the implementation of the women's rights as advocates, the forum also calls on the entire women folk to break the culture of silence, another impediment deterring women's progress. A genuine support from the government is also paramount. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Women groups in the Upper River Region village of Nyakoi and its environs are on the verge of revolutionizing the way they communicate and go about their business, thanks to support provided by FOWAGAM and the American Embassy in Banjul. The new initiative seeks to help women use mobile phone technology to communicate. Esutumani has the rest of that story.
Officials of FOWAGAM, the Gambia, and the Deputy Chief of Mission, U.S. Embassy, Cindy Craig, traveled to Nyakoi in URR to launch the Rural Women Mobile Phone Project, which is meant to empower women and facilitate fast means of conveying important messages amongst users to the rest of the communities. Over the years, FOWAGAM has rolled out a host of activities geared towards addressing concerns of girls in school. The organization has also contributed immensely to the significant increase in girls' enrollment in schools. The chairperson of FOWAGAM, Hadijatu Jallo Balde, commended the women for the large turnout on the day of the launching of this important project. Yadikonjai Eribo, the national coordinator of FOWAGAM, delved on the history of FOWAGAM and their achievements, saying the Gambia is one out of 32 chapters hosting the organization, which operates in Africa.
We work with them through the mothers' clubs, and they support us in advocacy for girls. And we can see results now because in the Gambia we have parity, gender parity in education. So now we are really focusing on retention, making sure girls stay in school. It's not just enrolled anymore. They stay in school and finish school, go to college, go to universities.
For the mobile phone project, FOWAGAM's national coordinator explains that our organization extending help to the women through the invaluable support of Cindy Craig, Deputy Chief of Mission, U.S. Embassy. She added that the initiative will add value to the lives of these women, particularly in the area of information sharing.
We will give 1,000 mobile phones to 1,000 women in Region 6, URR. Now, we are not just giving them the phone, they have to walk. The project officer, Modu Nyang and Joanna, they'll be sending messages to these women through the mobile phones from the faraway office. And these messages will be messages on education, health, and any other national issues that affect women and the communities.
The Deputy Chief of Mission, U.S. Embassy in the Gambia, expressed satisfaction at the launch of the project, which she went on is very important to the U.S. Embassy. The project, according to the U.S. diplomat, was implemented successfully in Mali and Malawi and is hoping to witness a similar implementation process in the Gambia.
Women are the backbone of the Gambia, but they're also the backbone of Africa, and they're the backbone of the world. You are raising the young Gambians to be the future leaders, and we just want to try to make our job a little bit easier. So I thank you. I thank you very much for agreeing to take part.
Officially launching the mobile phone project for rural women empowerment in Nyakoi, URR, Cindy Craig urged the would-be beneficiaries to disseminate messages sent to them by FOWAGAM to the rest of the community. Mamadou G. Jallo, Principal Education Officer Region 6, spoke at length on the numerous contributions made by Mothers Club in attaining quality education in URR.
You may be pleasantly surprised to learn that some Mothers Clubs are providing loans to some basic schools or basic cycle schools to enable them to pay their examination fees to WAEC.
Aissatou Dansira, president of one of the Mothers Club, thanked the U.S. Embassy and FAWEGAM for the initiative and pledged that they would deliver to expectation. Seibu Juara, Ward Councillor, and Babu Jata, Village Chief, both expressed delight with the development and the numerous benefits they will derive from the project. After the launching ceremony, FAWEGAM officials were invited to visit Nafugan Mothers Club Garden, where women expressed appreciation of the support given to them by the organization. The coming of the mobile phone project, they added, will help them communicate their concerns to FAWEGAM and ease interaction among the various mothers clubs. For GRTS News, I am Aissatou Mane.
Health workers and other members of the Anti-Malaria Coalition have been marking World Malaria Day. The event held in Buyam, West Coast region, attracted health ministry officials. We have more on this report by Louis Mendy.
The Fonyi Councillor village of Biam was the scene of this year's celebration of World Malaria Day. The historical settlement has and continues to serve the health needs of multitudes in the area and even beyond Gambia borders. A colorful march passed by school children, voluntary organizations, traditional communicators and bath attendants, all illustrating the significance of the day. An elated village alcalo, who was rather economically needs-worse, told the gathering about the day's significance, attributing it to the peace and tranquility brought about by the Jammeh administration. Alaji Sankare, the Regional Director of Health Services at the West Coast region, told the gathering about the intervention strategies taken, such as malaria control management, insecticide treatment net, intermittent preventive therapy, and indoor residual spray. The Gambia's role in the global malaria campaign, according to Adama Jen Sonko, has been outstanding. She, however, lamented the need to consolidate the gains made. The WHO country representative called for further strengthening of key health areas, which, according to him, will push the vector to pre-elimination stage.
As we commemorate World Malaria Day 2012, let us reflect on our strengths and weaknesses, knowing that UNICEF, WHO, and other partners remain committed to providing the technical and financial support required for sustaining the gains so far achieved, as well as for establishment of a robust national database and reporting system on malaria in the Gambia.
Authorities have once again pledged government's commitment through public and private sector partnership to stem the impact of the disease. The day is set aside to highlight efforts at combating the mosquito-borne disease, something that has taken significant strides in the Gambia. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, which is at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. While we go with our very first break now, stay tuned. Welcome back. Military authorities in Guinea-Bissau have released two leading civilian politicians who were detained following an army takeover. The two, interim President Raymond Prera and presidential hopeful Carlos Gomez Jr., arrived in Ivory Coast after their release. This development comes barely 24 hours after leaders of the regional economic bloc, ECOWAS, urged authorities in Bissau to embrace its transition program or face punitive sanctions. Let's look at this report for more on that.
I want to thank the heads of state and say we are in Côte d'Ivoire, that this is also our country, and we are waiting.
He was speaking in French and had been held prisoner for 2 weeks in his own country, Guinea-Bissau. Now the former interim president is a free man. He and the former prime minister of Guinea-Bissau, Carlos Gomez Jr., just got off the plane that took him to the Ivorian